Business Notes. I'm your host, Diane Bogino, President of Performance Strategies and Diane Bogino Development. Our guest today is Gina Carr. Gina Carr is an author, speaker, and marketing consultant who worked with thought leaders to leverage social media marketing for more profits, influence, and success. A 20-year serial entrepreneur, Gina has an MBA from the Harvard Business School and an engineering degree from the Georgia Institute of Technology. Gina helps speakers, authors, and business owners share their brilliance with the world and build powerful tribes of raving fans. Gina Carr, thank you for being on Business Notes. I'm so happy to be interviewing you today. I can't tell you how happy I am to have you on the show.
Well, I am delighted to be here, Diane. I have respected you so long and been a fan of yours for so long. And so this is great. I'm so happy.
Well, good. So let's dive into some really serious questions here, okay? You are a graduate of Harvard University, but you also have a degree from, or an industrial engineering degree from Georgia State, or I'm sorry, Georgia Tech, my alma mater, Georgia State. But that's quite a leap into the wonderful world of digital marketing. What precipitated that leap?
Well, I took the entrepreneurial path even out of Harvard Business School, which was not very common back then. It's more common now, but I wanted to be in control of my life. And so I took the path of starting my own businesses. I became a serial entrepreneur right there in North Metro Atlanta, where you're based. I started a real estate company, mortgage company, several magazines, in fact, a chain of community magazines. From that, I really learned about marketing small businesses. And so from the pivot of marketing small businesses in traditional media, such as TV, radio, and magazines and newspapers, the digital platform seemed unnatural. I just gravitated towards it. I loved it. I've always wanted to be in business doing things that I enjoy doing. So if it's something I find fascinating and enjoy, I reverse engineer and see, well, can I make a living doing that? Can I create that as my business? And so that's basically how I've gotten here. Digital marketing allows me to meet people, interact with people, and that's why.
Right. You like people. I can tell that for sure. So tell our viewers how you do help your clients and followers to improve their social presence, build their influence, and improve their marketing.
Well, I really get into what's called the digital platform, the digital footprint of a person, because so much marketing really needs to be based on a person. I mean, even if you're a big company, you're going to do better if you can personalize your company. Let's take Progressive Insurance with Flo, the gal that they use for as their brand ambassador, right? And Geico with the gecko, even though it's not a person, he has two eyes and he's very personalized, right? So what is that brand of that person, and what will make you want to get to know, like, and trust them more? How can they open their heart and their mind to you, the audience member, the prospective customer? So I just think about ways that they could do that. And the strongest, most powerful way to do that today is video. So that's why I have created a program couple of years ago called Video Rockstars. And in Video Rockstars, it's a community of people that are helping each other create better videos. Of course, you're involved with that now as well. And of course, you're already doing a great job. So you could have started that yourself and have others join you. And we're always learning from you. So that's why I created that. That's why I think that video marketing is the most important. And I really focus my efforts on helping people get better videos so they're more confident, so that they can get their message out into the world, have more impact, and make more money.
Right. And that Video Rockstars, I do want to put a plug in for that myself, because Gina, I saw people just blossom on that program, because they started scared to death and came out with quite a professional product at the end. And I would even encourage business people to do it, which actually leads me into my next question. Do you think that any business leaders should invest in a video or social media presence? Or obviously, I don't think it's just for speakers. I don't think you do either.
I think all business leaders should have video, because people want to do business with people. They're often, I think that search is overrated for many businesses. Yes, search engine optimization is important, but a lot of times people will meet someone and they just want to do business with that person. So I think that the more they can get to know that person, and they've gotten to know them in person or digitally through their videos, that's a real good way to do it. Now, I do some independent consulting still for some companies. And in fact, I'm the CMO of a mental telehealth company. And in that company, our CEO does do some videos, but we also hire people, actors, to do videos for us to talk about the service and how mental telehealth counseling can help them. And so in that case, we're still using video, but we're using video of either real customers or stage customers, acting customers. So it can be, that's another way to use video in your business.
Oh, sure. There's a place for all kinds of video presentations to be done to help promote a company. Absolutely. Gina, you mentioned earlier that you're committed to liberty, freedom. You're also committed to kindness, compassion, and peace. I could take a lot of lessons from you, but you are also highly competitive as a successful business person. You've also been a competitive water skier, top real estate agent, an animal shelter director, a state house representative candidate, and the peanut brittle selling queen of Riverside Elementary School in Mableton, Georgia.
Oh my goodness. That took some digging to find that, I'm sure.
How do you balance these two seemingly dichotomous personalities?
Well, I think it's just my nature to be competitive, but it's also my nature to be compassionate and kind. And I've definitely gotten a lot more in touch with that over the last few years since I became vegan. I became a plant-based eater and really focused on living my beliefs that animals should be treated well. And I extend that to all human and non-human animals. So competition is just something that comes naturally to me. I was active in sports, as you mentioned. Before that, basketball and track in high school, and competitive water skiing from the age of 12 throughout my Georgia Tech career there. But, and then, yes, I do remember one time talking to someone about real estate, and I was very focused. I want to be number one. I want to be number one. And they said, similar to you, gosh, that just doesn't seem like you, Gina. You really have this competitive nature. It's like, that's the mark of success. It's how we measure success in so many areas. If it's a football game or a basketball game, well, the score tells the tale. If it's many other things, the score tells the real story. But in so many areas, it's that number one ranking that says, yes, I have done what I need to do. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it comes from being in school and really wanting to get A's. I focused on getting 100 on every single test. I didn't get 100 on every test, but that was my goal. And if I got anything less than 100, then that was where I knew I needed to focus and improve. So I bet it comes from there.
Yeah, it started at a young age, I'm sure. But, we had a speaker at the Buckhead Business Association who was in politics, and he thought that even, and he did his political career in a nice way. And he was discussing the fact that he thought politics could be civil. I'm going to live to see that. Okay. But your point is well taken. You can win and still be nice.
Well, you can. And without getting overly political here, I will just say that I believe that a big negative turn happened in our political lifetimes and in our recent political history when third parties were left out of the debates and thus essentially left out of the political process. And Ross Perot was very successful way back when. Whether you voted for him or not, he was allowed on the debate stage. He was allowed to get alternative ideas out into the marketplace of politics. And so the different political parties couldn't just say, okay, I'm on the red team, I'm on the blue team. No, that purple team has some good ideas. Maybe I'll take some there. And you know, when we get to multiple parties in our political system again, which can happen, especially with proliferation of shows like this and video and the internet, and maybe with a relaxed debate commission or changing rules on the debate commission, that can certainly happen.
Yeah, right. Point well taken for sure. Gina, do you see social media and video marketing and the like continuing to play an important role in the world of business and in the future of work?
Oh, totally. Right now we're in a pandemic, we're in a lockdown. And so many people have had to start using the internet even more for everyday business, for everything that they're doing. And so I think people have found the power in being able to get their message out directly into the world without expensive equipment, without paying expensive advertising fees to radio stations and to TV. They can start their own TV show just like you have done here. They can broadcast literally to the entire world. Well, almost the entire world. I think there's some areas of North Korea and Iran and maybe some other places, but for the most part, to the world with just pennies, with just using your phone or a camera on your computer, and put it on a channel that there's more channels than just Facebook. I know a lot of people don't like Facebook, but Facebook's a real powerful tool for getting your message out into the world right now, but there are many others as well.
Yeah, you use Facebook well, believe me. That you've really, I think, turned your whole business around and built your business with Facebook, if I'm correct.
I have, and that is, if I could give your audience members a tip, a lot of times they say, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. Should I be on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, or there's these new things, or Twitch or whatever? I recommend that you take one platform that you like and spend most of your time there. That's probably where your customers are going to be. That's where you enjoy being. And it's much like people say, well, what exercise should I do? I don't know what exercise to do. Do the one that you're going to like and stick with. And so I think that if you go deep in a single social media platform, you're going to be more successful. And I've seen several multi-million-dollar business owners do that. And they don't mess around with those other platforms because they don't know them. They don't want to invest the time, money, and effort to get to know them. They just focus on one.
That's right. That's so true of any marketing. You're not going to do it if you don't enjoy it or like it or understand it. And the point is to do it, to do the activity, to take action. On a different note, now, Gina, I know you to be a very modest individual, but in my research, I discovered that famous rock star, Elvis Presley, tore your underwear. Would you please explain to our viewers how that happened?
Yeah, that's quite a story. Okay, I was 8 years old. I might have been 9, but it was 8 to 9 years old. I don't know exactly because I didn't recognize the significance of it. But Elvis he lived in Graceland in Memphis at this big, beautiful home on the hill. And he would come down to what we call the pearly gates. He had these white gates. He would come down to these gates and he would sign autographs and have his picture taken with his fans. So my family, we were big Elvis fans. And so we went to have our pictures made. Well, this was late 60s, 69, I believe that was the year. And so Elvis picks me up and I have my picture made with Elvis. And my eyes are this big. And so it was quite an exciting time. But it was late 60s. Elvis, if you recall, used to wear these white jumpsuits with these beautiful silver bangle belts. And young girls like me would wear mini skirts. Well, as Elvis was putting me down after he'd picked me up for my photo, my panties hung on that big silver bangle belt. And so I tried to step away and I popped right back. And I tried to step away and I popped right back. So my father had to come up and loosen my underwear from Elvis's belt. It was, I'm sure, quite embarrassing for my father and mother and Elvis at the time. I was a little kid. I didn't really know that much, but it was interesting. So for my entire life, these panties toward my Elvis Presley hung on, they were framed and they were on the mantle in our fireplace in Atlanta there as I grew up. So I still have them today.
My goodness. That is a story for sure.
All very innocent, but yes, there are probably not a whole lot of other women out there that could say that Elvis tore their panties.
Probably not. You can imagine what the press would do with that today, but we're not going to go there. Gina, what is the best way for someone to get in touch with you if they want to work with you?
Well, that's a great question. The best way is to look for me, ginacarr.com, and you can contact me there on my website in many different ways. But I would like to invite your audience members that are interested in getting to know more about video and video training. I have free video training every week on in my free Facebook group, and you can get there at videochallengegroup.com. So just videochallengegroup.com, it's free, and I'd love to have your audience members join me there. That's where I hang out. That's definitely my main bat channel is Facebook. And so that allows you to get into our free Facebook group where we have video training going on all the time.
Yeah, and the training is awesome. I'll tell you what, you pick up some tidbit every time you go on there. So I would encourage people to go there as well. Gina, this has been a delight. I never thought I would get this opportunity, and I really appreciate you being on the show today. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Diane. I'm honored.
Thank you for watching Business Notes. We've been speaking with Gina Carr, author, speaker, and marketing consultant who works with thought leaders to leverage social media marketing for more profits, influence, and success. I'm your host, Diane Bogino, bringing you business ideas you can bank on.